and welcome to yet another episode of Cape Rugby TV, live on Wednesday nights. So my esteemed panel this evening, as usual, Mr. Herman Abrams from Western Province Rugby. Hello, Mr. H.
Good evening, JP.
You look like you're having a fun time.
Yeah, it's nice to be here. You know, I love sitting here and trying to impress the people out there. Great.
Yeah, impressing the people. Jerome, gaan we jou, meneer?
Baie goed, meneer. Met jou?
Ja, nee, het is not too bad. Kap maar aan. En Bontie, hoe gaan we jou?
Yeah, good, dankie. Nice to be here again. Thank
Nice
you.
to have you here. You're obviously a regular member of the panel when Morgan Newman is otherwise occupied.
Well, you know, my rugby day was also a good substitute. Looks like it's just continuing now.
All right, gents, it's been an exciting week of rugby. We seem to be getting the momentum back. It's like got the rhythm back. Mr. H, would you say it's fair to say that those breaks and gaps that we've had in the last couple of weeks has now come and gone? And
yeah, no, they're all gone. And you know, JP, I am a firm believer that when our provincial teams are doing as well as they are doing now, it also rubs off on the club rugby. And there's a lot of excitement about Western Province rugby and also the club rugby. So it goes hand in hand.
Would you agree with that, Bonti?
Yes, of course. Everybody likes winning, and it just creates a good vibe. And also the type of rugby they play. I think that also adds to it as well.
There is a different style. I mean, Jerome, let's bring you, and you're on the field with the boys. What is it about Western Province that's different at the moment, apart from the fact that you're changing players and you've got a whole bunch of fresh guys on the field at the moment? There seems to be a whole different running style of rugby at the moment.
Yeah, I think, JP, the youngsters they're really enjoying themselves, and they're not so much as the older guys into the structure and stick to the structure. They tend to play what's in front of them and what they want to do with the ball and play, and tend to not kick as much as we used to, guys kicking.
Yeah.
So, and also they were a lot in I mean, our defense is good, but the focus were a lot on defense. Now it's more, the balance seems to be right between defense and attack.
So you'd agree with that, Bonti? It's about getting that balance right.
Yeah, and it's a bit more freedom. That's what you're looking for. The guys were a bit conservative before, and now they letting the guy take the option that plays out in front of him. If there's a gap, he takes a gap. If he needs to kick, he kicks. And I think you can see the teams enjoying it as well. So it's great. And the results are there.
Well, talking about the results, let's take a look at the results now. We'll start off with the Super League A results. And just incidentally, folks, when you see the fixtures for the weekend coming up, they are Friday, Saturday, or even Sunday fixtures. So when we look at fixtures, it's everything from Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, right? So those will come up later in the show. So I think last week we had Watsonia, for example. Watsonia was a Friday match, but we included everything in the fixture. We start off with Super League A then. Let's take a look there. It's Hamilton's beating Tygerberg 64 points to 14. All right, let's just quickly touch on that result there. Jerome, an enormous score there, 64-14. Hamilton's really giving Tygerberg a hiding. What went wrong?
Yeah,
yeah,
it's strange. The score is really not a true reflection of how the game went.
Yeah.
The first half was like very, very close, and second half, I think it's a bit a mixture between fitness and concentration on Tygerberg's side. Then Hamilton they just let loose, and that's where the points come in.
Francois, is there a risk at the moment that some of the clubs that are not as experienced or not as senior or are just coming into new leagues don't have the legs for 80 minutes?
It could be, and also haven't got the depth, maybe conditioning, and the quality of players. And it will count in vital games, especially the last 20 minutes, as Jerome says.
I mean, having the legs means you've got to have every facet to get all 22 players through all 80 minutes. And if you don't have the depth, like you say, you're not going to be able to field the full team at full strength for the full 80 minutes.
And a quality 22, so the guy you take off, he must be replaced by a quality guy. You understand? That's the other story again, which keeps that continuity. Let's
take a look at the rest of the results then in Super League A. It's Villagers took a big hiding against SK Warmers. Gentlemen, same thing again here. Jerome, it's 56-30 for SK Warmers. It's going to show again how some clubs have climbed and climbed and climbed, and others have maybe not actually realized that there's a bit of some other clubs catching up with you. and maybe Villagers now is being caught out. And again, going back to Francois' point, SK Warmers coming back, they've got the depth, they've got clearly the guys to go to the bench with, they've got a second team pushing through. Is that, would you say this is similar to the Hamilton's Tigerberg game?
No, that's totally different. I've spoken to Labib Levy. He said that they should have actually scored 70 points. So that's totally different but then again, it were too easy for them, and they basically stopped playing. So they could have, which is...
But I'm looking at the Villagers 30. Why did Villagers not have more than 30 points on the board? Or, what went wrong for them? Was that a question of not enough depth, not enough legs, or is it just that SK Warmers was better on the day?
Well, that could come down to what Jerome said. Maybe SK stopped playing when they were up by such a score. But I spoke to a Villagers guy and he said the SK were lucky to get 50, so I don't know what.
All right, let's look at some of the other results in the Super League A. Durban beating Belhar, 30 points to 17. And another interesting result there. I mean, we're seeing some big results here on the stage. 38-17. Durban, I mean, they're dominating and doing really well in Super League.
I hope that they will continue playing like they're playing. They will start on Monday, the National Club Championships, and it will be great if another Western Province club team wins that championship.
Okay,
They're going to Rustenburg. And
we're going to touch on the club champs in a minute, but 38-17 there. Belhar, Jerome, they've been in Super League A now. This is the second season in a row, third season in a row. Third season in a row. They should have the legs by now. I mean, is this just a question of Durban's a very good side?
No, that is just outclassed. Durban just outclassed them, and they're just a great team. I mean, they've beaten Marty's twice this season, so they just prove that they are the best team.
Any team's going to struggle against them.
Yeah, they should be. But what is also fascinating, what is very good, is that Bella are scoring good tries and scoring lots of tries this season. That shows you they're playing an enterprising type of rugby.
Yeah. Well, that is exciting. Let's take a look now at the rest of the results, moving forward into Super League B. Goodwood 46-12 over Peniel Villagers. Primrose, it was a 1-point win for them over Hands and Hearts, 23-22. Collegians 36 all draw with Kales River, and NNK losing to Belleville 35-28. Well, there's no one better to talk to now than the president of NNK, Francois Bontes, and the biggest fan of Belleville, Jerome Parvater, who decided not to join us over the weekend and rather went out to watch Belleville. Well, I mean, Mr. H, we've never had a business.
No, let's hear.
How long has it been with the two teams from the whole story?
Let's hear the experts.
Okay, let's start then with the losing team first. Borty, 20, I mean, it's not a big score difference there, but what went wrong?
Kraaifontein aren't playing very well this season. Give the devil his due. Belleville is NNK's voodoo side, but Belleville played very well on the day. They started the match very well, and the first 60 minutes was great. But the match was well dictated by Stoffels at Flyaf. He had a great game at Flyaf. He played the intelligent game, and they deserved the victory on the day.
Jerome, what worked for you on the day?
No, it's as I said last week, Belleville is NNK's bogey side. So, and they started off well, I must say, and Belleville are actually lucky that the time ran out for NNK, because NNK came back. It was a bit too late.
Really?
But it was a great game of rugby.
Yeah.
Great game. Great tries were scored, both from NNK side and Belleville side. But on the day, Belleville was the best team.
Yeah,
we give them a due, and it's going to be a tight battle till the end for the two sides to go up and two sides to go down in all the leagues, looks like it. So.
Yeah, but you guys are both in great positions, NNK and Belleville. It's all there for the taking now. I mean, Bonty, it wasn't so long ago. What was the week before last? 2 weeks ago, we had you on the show, and you were saying that every point counts now.
Look, Helleberg's safe. I don't think anyone can catch Helleberg unless they lose all last 3 games.
Yeah.
It's between Belleville and NNK, but I don't know which one of the side really want to go up, so we'll have to see what happens,
I don't know.
it's tough up there.
It is tough. I mean, we were speaking to Gert Rademan from Goodwood, and we were saying just coming up, last year everybody spoke about Goodwood doing so fantastic during the season and winning every game and coming through. And when we saw them play against Helderberg, Gert said after the game, jumping up to the next league is like everything is 5 meters faster, 5 seconds faster, and 20 kilograms heavier. And I think the worry for the clubs, and we were saying, is that you can come up a league, but you're going to have to really work to stay in that league because you can't go lower than 7th place.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, and I mean it's a little bit like Mr. H. Would you agree with me? Like this thing with the Lions and the Kings. I mean, I go back to this thing of, if you come up that league, you're going to have to not come up just to get up for the year. You need to come up about 40% to stay in the league.
No, you must really be well prepared. And we've seen it often that, like in the case of Goodwood, they won all their games and then now suddenly, and it's demoralizing when you now lose all your games. But I suppose, these guys all know. I like what I've heard here about the standard of the rugby. And I still get, on a Monday calls about clubs or players that resorted to fisticuffs or resorted to kicking.
You must have got a call from Australia then.
No.
Okay.
But what I would like to see...
you picked up on that one, eh?
Yeah.
His head, but
No, say it.
First time to see you use his head.
He's a former NNK player though, isn't he?
No.
Maybe we should take some of these guys, for the first few weeks in the rugby season and say, you're not going to play. You're going to watch a match between Bellville and NNK and see how people play rugby without those nonsense that you catch on.
But there's more than that though. I mean, Bonnie, I'll go to you on this one. And I mean, the coaches have to realize what goes on in the next league because it's almost like you're getting a job promotion. And it's a new environment, it's a new landscape. Everything has to fall in place for you. And actually, it's not just the coach, the entire club has to realize life is going to change. You need more sponsors, you need more nutrition. The guys have to hit the gym a little bit harder. The whole package has to change.
Not sure, but you made the statement just now about the Kings and the Lions now. But the difference is the Kings have got the purse and the wallet to buy a whole new squad.
Yeah.
Whereas the club you got nothing. You just have to go with the same guys. You have got no wallet to buy new guys.
And I suspect the Kings have got some political support as well.
Absolutely.
That counts a lot.
That counts more than anything.
But I don't know, JP, there was one of the spectators of Bellville said Saturday after the game, Ponty, he said, NNK, ons sien julle weer in 5 jaar tyd. So I don't know, Mr. H, is that, I don't know, how's that?
Is he going on a around the world trip or something?
Well, because he said Bellville is going up and they never, for 5 years they're not going to play against NNK again.
Just like it. That's a brave chap. I'll put
that's the guy with Alzheimer's.
I was about to say I'll put money on that one. That's quite a significant gamble because to stay up in a league now, any team is going to be tough. You got to stay out of 8th or 9th and 10th position.
Especially with the 2 up, 2 down. It's
Well, that's the whole point. Anyway, let's look at the results now in Premier League A. UWC beating Rangers 46 points to 30. Lunga goes down to Hamlets 44-17. Scottsdene, Young People's 20-0. Mr. H, I think that game was missed, right?
Yeah.
Young People's are still yet again the scores that are in there, folks. Just a reminder then that you won't see those scores if they didn't play, or at least you'll see a 20-0. St. George's 28-17 win for them over Kraaifontein. In Premier League B, we see Strand United losing to Franschhoek 31-29. Macassar 38-27 over Stelkor. Van der Stel went down to Milnerton 23-21. Eerste Rivier beating Silvertree 21-13. Silurians 121-0 over Laguna. Is that possible? Or is that, sounds to me like...
I didn't check up on that.
Yes, like it. Okay, well, we're going to have to do some homework on that one because I didn't
they played that game.
They did play.
They played that game, yeah.
But does that sound right to you? 121-0?
Did they use the odd 121? What was
I think
that's the
the R300 first.
That is the score, eh?
Is that really the score? Because, I mean, we saw tons of tweets rolling in over the weekend, and I don't pick that one up.
What's happening at Laguna? Because,
yeah, look, I mean...
scores I get against them before Mr. H.
No, I don't know.
Well, I mean, 121 is a cricket score. Yeah. Okay, anyway, folks, I don't know. We've got to double check on that score for you, but that's the score that came in. That's a massive score. Let's look at the results now in Division 1. Rocklands 44-15 over Young Stars. Silver Leaf beating Busy Bees 25-14. Hamadias going down to Strand 34-21. In Division 2, Watsonia went down to Temperance 12-8. And the match we were at over the weekend is Violets. Violets beating All Saints 22 points to 15. We did catch up with some of the highlights in the match between Violets and All Saints. Let's take a look and see what happened. Important game?
Very. It's it's a vital game that we all need to win, both sides. It's a decider who's going to finish second, so to say, against Atlantis.
For the TV.
Thanks, man. It was a hell of a game. It was tough. They played in a good spirit, although there was a little bit of niggles. It was all in the game. And from a ref side, you must also take in the spirit behind the whole game. Hell of a tackles, hell of a spirit it was playing, and from here on, rugby can only grow.
Well, it certainly looked like things went there in the favour of Violets over the weekend. Mr. H, you and I were there. One of the things that we noticed is in the middle of the game, and Jerome Frank Monty, I don't know if you've ever seen anything like this in the history of club rugby, but certainly it's one of the, as funny as it is, it's also a pretty serious matter. But what basically happened, and we took it off the camera, and then we decided to put it back in the camera, and all you see was the repairing of it. But the pole, you know, the cross pole or the crossbar on the pole, the guy kicked the ball and hit the pole, and the crossbar fell down and almost landed on the touch judges and the fly officer and everyone else that was standing underneath it.
Do they use a medicine ball there?
I mean, we were just watching. Have you ever seen or heard of anything like that?
It was quite amusing to see it. It's also very dangerous because that crossbar
It's bloody heavy.
is a solid crossbar. It's not the aluminium.
Yeah.
And what was interesting is that
Was how
the
fast our
kicker.
touch judges can sidestep.
Yeah, no, they moved out of the way quickly. But the kicker, it kicked everything missed right in front of the poles. For a while, I think he missed.
This was,
about,
of course, All Saints.
he kicked about 5 miss, and then he hit the crossbar.
And then he hit the crossbar. It was actually, but to the point there, it's actually pathetic that we're not getting more support from, and I spoke to Nadir Isaac. He said everything at that club they've done themselves: the lights, the irrigation, the fencing, and there we have these poles who could actually have hurt someone on the day. I mean, I'm sorry now that we stopped filming. We've got the repairs, and we'll show you guys that clip of just the repairs of the poles as we had to stop the game, and we all got up and put the wires back on. Everything's just tied up with wire and chewing gum, literally. I mean, we really, there are clubs out there whose lives are literally being put in danger because of the fact that some of the facilities at the clubs are not being looked after by the councillors, whoever the councillor is in that area. But anyway, let's get back to the point here. Good win for Violets, Mr. H.
No, it was good. They, in the end, they had to fight all the way because I think with 10 minutes to go, All Saints came within 7 points or so, and then they really ran at them. But the defence held out.
Yeah.
But it was an exciting game in the end, very exciting.
I still get back to this thing of in the last 10 minutes, clubs, and Jerome, you had this problem last week with Lawyer, that, you know, in the last 10 minutes of clubs tend to make silly decisions. I mean, we see a lot of screaming and shouting and wanting to do, and even if you're 7 points up, there's 10 minutes left in the game. Isn't that the most important time to calm down and not kick away possession?
Yeah, but I think that's where experience come in. And I think also because the crowd went mad, so the players on the field think also they must also go crazy and just try to run and do stupid things like that. So they must just be calm.
Why run when you're up?
They must just be calm.
I mean,
looking for the extra bonus point, maybe.
Well, perhaps,
and
yes.
they lose it, or so just be. But they need good leadership. Good leadership should come through, calm the people down, do the correct things. But maybe people are chasing bonus points. You see that.
The worst is normally when, you know, if you take a penalty at that stage, you might win the game or you might come back just now, and then the guy decides he's going to take a tap kick and he loses the ball in that, you know. And he stands there.
What's he say?
You can ask Bonte. That's why I say they almost managed to get to either draw the game or win the game in NK.
Yeah.
Because they made a replacement, put another fly-off on, and there were about 2 minutes, not even. And the replacement fly-off couldn't kick the ball out. And as we were saying now he's got time to take his time and relax, and take as much time, tie his shoelaces or whatever, put the ball down. And he rushed to kick the ball out, and he couldn't kick the ball out. And NK
it's all that adrenaline.
And then they had to tackle. So it is crazy, it is crazy. I don't know.
But then again, it could also come down to bad replacements, which I think Mr. H and I was speaking about earlier.
Yes,
Putting guys in the last 2 minutes or 3 minutes for what?
Because you probably find that most in the club space, most of the replacements come out of the second team.
Yes,
who are moving onto the bench and just stepping.
Especially
So
this
they didn't
time of the
practice.
season with a lot of injuries and stuff, and you haven't got your full team. Why change the guy last 2 or 3 minutes? What? They're the guy that cost the game.
which could cost you the league.
Yeah, could cost you,
Yeah. Anyway, so it was a good result for Violets, and I'll tell you something, Mr. H, the one thing that I have to say here is the food at Violets. Huh?
Steak sandwiches.
Steak sandwiches from Cozy Corner.
Yeah.
But sure, aren't they, isn't it Violence Correctional Services?
No,
that's in the Paarl region, I think.
Highland.
Oh, I thought they were correctional security. Then it comes from the prisons.
There's nothing wrong with correctional food.
I think it's from experience.
Anyway, but a good result and great food there. And I tell you, the food rivalry is now up between Elsie Shafir for the Scarp, Rangers with just all the families
curry.
cooking great food, and Cozy Corners, the sponsors there at Violets, really laying it on for the Cape Rugby team. And we've got to say an enormous thank you for feeding the crew. You know, a lot of people forget about the crew, the cameraman and our driver, Uncle Clive, and myself and Morgan, Mr. H. You know, it really, thank you very much to the guys at Violets. You were absolutely fantastic.
Thanks for that. So I know when NK is going to play their friendlies next year. Those weeks.
That's where you want to target.
Yeah.
We also managed to catch up with the losing captain and coach of All Saints, and let's hear what they had to say. A little bit tough, didn't go your way, and away from home.
Very, very tough. It's always tough at Chaka Road. But we were prepared, but we did not play according to our game plan.
And
Violets were much stronger up front, and I think that's where they beat us.
And it's an important game for both teams at the moment.
Very, very important game. Hopefully, Atlantis can get a loss somewhere along the line and we can maybe creep in. But we will make sure that we win our next 3 games so that we still have a chance somewhere.
Do you find that the last couple of games of the season, especially when there's this potential promotion in the cards, the intensity of club rugby lifts?
It's very, very high. Intensity is very, very high. Especially with you guys here, it's also helping us in club rugby. So I just want to say thank you very much to Violets. Everything went well for us, so not well when it comes by the win, but we are satisfied with it.
Well, it looks like you got a great bunch of guys, and it obviously comes from great leadership. So to the guys at All Saints, well done.
Yeah, and I also want to thank all my supporters, all our supporters from All Saints that came along, always to support us. But we will be back. Thank you very much.
Well, 100%. We'll probably see you guys, hopefully in Division 1 next year.
Okay, yeah, hopefully. It's hard work. Okay, thank you very much.
Elroy, tough game for you guys today.
Yeah, it was hard. With the Violets, big forwards, they come really. It was hard, but I think forward we can do a little bit better. So I see forward, and well done to Violets.
So if you guys going forward now, what are you going to work on? I mean, there's a couple of games left still in the season. You want to stay at the top of the log. You obviously want to get into Division 1. What are you going to be focusing on?
So I think we must just practice a little bit harder, work on stuff we will make it right here today. So a little bit harder work for us forward.
Well, it looks like you're fairly disappointed, but don't be too disappointed. You guys still are at the top of the log, and you got to give yourself a lot of credit for all the work that you've done over the season. Eh?
So, but well done to Violets, but well done to my guys as well. At least we get a 1 point out of this game. So, thank you, Violets.
Well, there you go, Elroy. Well done, buddy. Well, things didn't quite go their way, but it does look like there's still a slight smile there. We managed to catch up with the winning coach of Violets. Let's hear what he had to say. Khamima Jam is the coach of Violets. A good win for you guys today.
Yeah, well, TP, we worked hard this week. We did rain, shine, our field was flooded, but the guys came out to practice, and we practice every night. Nobody stays away, even from third team till first team. Everybody's here, and our officials. Every night they are here. And we put we got coaches also that we call in to come and help. I want to say to them thank you very much. Like Hamad Galant, AJ Job. We are the coaches, and we got another guy that also come help us every week. So I want to say thank you to them.
Just a quick one. You mentioned the fact that the players came to every practice. We have a lot of clubs outside there who say not all their players come to every practice, and we've heard that if you want to win rugby, you've got to come to practice. How do you guys get your players to come to practice?
Now you see, after every game we won, then we go to Anissa's and we have Gatsby's and cool drinks. So that is the culture. We don't pay anybody.
There we
go. You come here to play, we give you half a Gatsby. Finish the club.
Right, and if you keep playing, you're going to have cauliflower ears just like Khamima over here. So there you go, folks. It's not about the money, it's about the culture. And clearly here at Violets, the coach and his team, they create the kind of fun stuff around the game that makes sure that the community enjoys the game and keeps coming to practice day after day. We'll see you guys in a moment. There we go. Lots of smiles, very happy. Good results for the guy from Violets. And this time round, our man of the match, our Tata man of the match, happens to be the captain of the winning side. And we spoke to Junaid Karim, also there together with Nadir Isaacs, the president of Violets, and Nadir handing over a check of R1,000, courtesy of Tata. Our Tata man of the match, Junaid Karim, the captain of Violets. We now have for the third week in a row the captain and coach as the man of the match. Junaid, a lucky game for you guys, a home win, lots of fans, everyone very happy.
Yeah, everyone's happy. We're just happy because the fans come, and if the fans come in, we play well.
Obviously very popular. How does it feel to be so close to moving into the next division?
It feels much closer because we're working very hard now for the 3 years past now, and we practicing Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. So the hard work is putting in, and it's going a long way for us.
So when you talk about the hard work, you mean the guys are going to practice every night?
Every night practice.
And they're making the effort to be here to work on the next game?
Yeah, they're working very hard, the lads, because if we have to win, we have a winning culture to uphold. So that's what we just want to do at the end of the day, is just win and go up again.
Well, look, you not only did you captain the side extremely well, but you played extremely well, and as a result, you are the Tata man of the match. So I'm gonna ask your president of Violets to shake hands with you and congratulate you on your fantastic performance and the Tata man of the match. Nadir Isaac is, of course, also on the executive of Western Province, but today we talked to him closer to home as the president of Violets. Nadir, you look very happy with that result.
It's a great win for us, JP. It takes us to second place on the log. We've got 4 more games to go. We need to win at least 2 of the 4 to gain promotion. And like the captain said, they practice very hard, and I don't think they'll disappoint us towards the end of the season.
You're not going to disappoint the president?
I'll never disappoint him.
Hey. There you go, folks. Here at Violets has been a great game. All Saints against Violets. Went in the favour of Violets today. Great crowd. Fantastic administrative facilities here. Folks really turning it out. They were tweeting. They were Facebooking. We've got catering. The guys from Cozy Corner have apparently got a lekker chow for us afterwards. So Nadir, to you guys, thank you very much for having us.
Great having
and
you.
Junaid, congratulations once again on your win and your man of the match. Big smiles there and 1,000 Rand to the guys at Violets, and well done, congratulations. And Nadir Isaacs doing a fantastic job there. And as we always do at every club, there is the biggest fan. Mrs. Vardy has been at Violets for, I think, more than 20 years now. Let's see what the biggest fan at Violets has to say. With me now is Mrs. Vardy.
Yes,
She is a special supporter of Violets. How long have you been here now?
I'm here 25 years.
25 years?
25 years.
And what have you been doing here for 25 years?
For 25 years, I've been the secretary, M&R, first aid, everything.
Did you cook all that lekker food that was here?
No, I'm not a cook, sorry. I'm just a player.
Now, what is it that keeps you coming back year in and year out?
What keeps me coming back? The sport, the spirit. It's a family. Violet is a family.
And have you seen some of these kids grow up from
I've
small
seen
boys?
this first team that played today. I've seen them grow up from nappies.
Are they part of the local community? Do you know where they
are.
live?
I know where they live. I know their parents, grandparents, great-grandparents. I know all of them.
So they can't cause any trouble without you?
No, they're not allowed to. They are not allowed to cause any trouble. If they do cause trouble, the gate is theirs.
And what's the best thing for you about Violets?
The best thing, the spirit in this club. That keeps me going for this 25 years and more.
Well, I think you deserve a big round of applause from
Thank
everybody.
you, from you too, my friend. Thank you very much.
Mr. H, you want people like that. 20 years at club rugby. Mrs. Vardy, what was she? She was making the boerewors rolls. She was someone's unpacking the whole thing there.
Yeah, no, she's been a great stalwart of the club. And, all clubs need people like that.
A couple of names from your club, Bonte, that stick out, that have been at your club forever.
There's Francois, there's Bontes, there's Bonte.
Yeah. We've heard of him.
No, Johan
Bonte
Versaki.
Jr.
Johan Versaki has been there, involved with the college. He's retired now, and he was with the club for about 28 years.
28 years, yeah.
Yeah, he's a good stalwart.
Are there any other youngsters or
No,
other
that's the problem. If only the players of today can look at a Mrs. Vardy and a Johan Versaki, but the players got no loyalty. They move from club to club. They don't start with a club and say, right, that's where I'm going to end. They move around from club to club. I don't know where they're going to watch one day when they stop, because they played for 6 different clubs.
Jerome, loyalty and faithful at your club?
It's exactly
Couple
what,
of names
yeah,
of
there's
before you
Mr. Boyson, Johnny Boyson.
Yeah.
He's been there for as
Whatever.
long as the club is, he's been out. He always been, he's been with the
Course,
juniors.
has been there forever,
Yeah, Mr.
Let me know when he leaves so I can come back.
There's a guy, Mr. Kibadu. He's there.
Yeah.
So there's a few guys in Vicky Peterson.
Yeah.
And as Bonte says, like for me, I can still, because I've played all my rugby for Belleville.
Yeah.
While I was playing for Province, I stayed at Belleville. So I can still identify myself with Belleville. I can go to Belleville, I can watch rugby and things. And as Bonti say, I don't know what this guy's playing 1 year at this club, getting more money there, going to another club. Who are they going to identify themselves with? One day if they have children, what are they going to say? You know, what are they going to say? It's you must have some pride in you and things. It's not
So you
all
mean
about
you have
you.
to actually...
Papa was a rolling stone.
But, yeah, well, if I sort of take that to another level now, you're saying that you must have a sense of loyalty to your club. You must have a sense of loyalty then obviously to your province.
Yeah.
Which means you should actually have a sense of patriotism for your country.
Exactly.
But we're still happy to wear the All Black jersey. So, you know, we have a sort of like an imbalance in our society. I think of where there's a generation, the current generation, that's possibly setting a bad example, and a young generation that's a little bit lost in terms of what's the way forward. Because I just can't relate to myself, even though I totally understand the reasons why, because our audience, for example, have never seen the Springboks on TV. I can totally understand the connection because they're not able to watch because those rights to watching the Springboks have been sold off to a higher power. So our audience can't watch the Springboks unless it's the odd repeat on a free channel, which hardly ever happens. So there's no connection to the brand. But I struggle to, so I can totally understand, but I struggle to understand how a father will drive in a car with an All Black jersey on and yet expect his son to be loyal to South Africa and Nelson Mandela and the history of South Africa and the struggle, but yet we're not proud to wear the national flag.
Yeah, but one day his son is going to play for the Springboks.
How can you possibly put anybody in the Springbok team who's loyal to the All Blacks?
Oh, whose family is loyal to
No, what I'm saying, that father driving with that All Black jersey or that All Black sticker on his car.
Ek sê Jerome, wat gaan gebeur? Alright, daai laaitie waarvan jy nou praat, wat al die jare die All Black jersey gedra het, wanneer hy vir die Bokke speel, gaan hy daarso terwyl hy die hakka doen, gaan hy sommer self die hakka begin doen. Hy gaan hierso Jono Lomo sien wat die hakka doen en dan gaan hy hom begin 'n kopie met die Verstaan jy wat ek sê?
Ja, is moeilik Jackie, maar bedoel, as ons nou net praat en dit is ernstig, nee, en dit is soos ek weet Bonti voel so, almal voel so, dit is ernstig, dit is waar onze klub rugby is baie sterk op die oomblik, nee, maar die geld het te belangrik geraak.
I don't buy it. I'm sorry, but I don't buy it. I go down to Violets, they're doing it without money. I go down to Elsie's Refuge, they're doing it without money. I look at the clubs and I ask Riaz Khan, the public relations and media guy at Violets, I asked Nadir Isaacs, what do you guys do? How is it that you've got loyalty of 20 years and players who come out of the community and are total, you see, they've got a common bond there that keeps them together, and I think it's religion in some cases. I mean, Mr. H, would you agree with me that religion actually joins people together?
Yeah.
There's a common thread there?
That is so.
So they make it work behind the scenes.
Yeah, they do, but you see, the higher you go up, the more pressure you got. You don't want to, if you're in the top 10, you want to stay in the top 10, but it's going to cost you to stay in the top 10. But the problem is, there must be a differential must be made where club rugby is amateur, and from there, if you play for proms, then it's professional. But all the club players think they're professionals, but they're amateur, and that's the problem we got at the moment.
But I mean, that's
and
just
or we should come to an agreement where Western Province stands up and says, guys, this is a cap. You're allowed to pay each player so much per, and all the clubs buy into that and pay exactly the same. Then you've got to have a equal
I would take it a step further, and quite simply, if you're an amateur player, by definition of the word amateur, you should not be paid a cent.
Yeah, but according to, if I'm correct, Mr. H. Saru says that you can reimburse a guy for his expenses.
Reimbursement,
yes.
I understand.
For petrol and so that's what I'm saying. Put a cap to 500 Rand a month for reimbursements or petrol or whatever the case.
Cap the reimbursement.
I
mean really get strict on it. But amateur is amateur, and if you want to pay somebody, pay a coach, pay a secretary, pay a treasurer, make them responsible to give them employment at the club. Make them responsible to create a vibe, get sponsorship, etc., etc. But do not pay any player 1 cent. I understand transport. I understand certain amount of reimbursement. Sponsorship, by all means, get them supplements, get them everything that they need, but stop paying. Otherwise, like you say, we're going to create a bigger divide.
I had to pay my club to play. I had to pay subs. We call it
If
subs.
I had a club, I would
a
probably
monthly.
ask you to pay me also, Jerome. But I mean, Jerome, you see, that 100%. If you want to go to gym, you pay a membership.
Yeah.
You want to go to a soccer club?
Yeah.
I mean, say a pool club?
Yeah.
You pay a
You
membership.
pay.
If you want to play rugby, you should pay.
Yeah.
You should pay your subs, 150 rand a month or whatever, because look what you're getting. You're getting gym and exercise and coaching
Get
and
everything.
And the entire
But
facility.
we must admit that rugby players in general are very, very spoiled.
Correct.
You know, they don't pay anything. If you compare them with netball players or cricket players or hockey players, those guys must pay a fortune every week to play their sport.
Yeah.
But then again, it's our own fault. We started it.
We allowed it.
We allowed it to happen, but I think it's time we try and do something about it. But we all have to stand together and discuss it. And we're not saying not pay them. We're just saying cap it and let it be fair across the board.
100%. Let's quickly look at the rest of the results, and we've got to fly through some competitions. We've had so much talking and debate this evening. It's been fantastic, and I think that's what a lot of people want to see. Division 3, then, of course, Young Ideas, 41-20 over Strand Pioneers. Caledonian Roses beating Whistling Wheels 22-5. Imikawi losing to Bishop Lavis 27-15. Thistle 23-15 for win for them, or at least loss against Richmond Rangers. In the PAR region, Riverstone beating Albions, Violets losing to Young Gardens, Vineyards beating Young Stars, Peril United losing to Allendale and Lower Paarl, while it was a loss for them against Vintmill United. Right, folks, it's time now for us to give away our normal Evox sports nutrition pack. And this week round, it's going to be an energy-related pack, right? So we've got 3 types of products for you. First of all, you've got your rapid recovery. This you use after training. I've got your Cyto Crank. Remember, these products are all used by the Stormers, DHL Stormers and Western Province Rugby. It gets them before training, after training, and this is exceptionally important, especially at this time of the year. We spoke about this at the beginning of the season, about making sure that you can recover so you can play 80 minutes. Otherwise, you're going to end up with that depth scenario of you can only get 60 minutes on the park. So Cyto Crank is the pre-training just to get you up to the 60 minutes, and your rapid recovery recovers you after the games and then during the game. And this is something people forget, is during the game a good energy drink. Not a sweet sugar thing that takes your blood sugar up and crashes you, but something that pushes you up and keeps you there. So that's your super carbo. So you got your before, your during, and your after. This is your Evox Rugby pack. Last week's winner of the Evox competition was Buddy Stewart. Buddy wins for himself a rapid recovery, a mega grow, and of course a creatine monohydrate. Congratulations, Buddy. You win for yourself that prize. Remember now, if you want to win for yourself this prize that we just showed you, 33280, the Evox before, during, and after recovery pack. Jerome, let me ask you, a lot of the guys at the Stormers are using recovery products, right? The most important of the lot.
Yeah. But I must tell you, JP, that stuff really works. Last week in Oudtshoorn, the amateur guys, they were using that, and I mean, they played 3 games in 1 week.
Yeah.
And some of the other teams' players come and ask us, and we gave them some of that stuff to drink after the game.
Yeah.
And it really works. And a lot of players from other provinces come, and our physio gave them some of the stuff.
Yeah.
And they said after the game, after the next game, they said really that
the recovery.
This is stuff that they're going to buy.
It's interesting that this rapid recovery was originally the S2S, which was designed between sports science and the Stormers. When Ryan Kohler, the doctor, was here, Greg Hechter, the guys got involved with the actual scientific development of a recovery product. And whereas people think it's just a plain energy drink, it's a combination of carbohydrates, proteins, amino acids, and so on. So I'm glad you've given us that feedback. Yeah.
Was that the same stuff that we drank after the braai?
That's exactly why you were awake, Mr. 8.
In the northern suburbs, we've developed a cheaper one now. It's just double brandy and Coke after
Well, we're thinking about bringing out that flavour. Yeah, it's called brandy and Coke flavour. I know the sales will go through the roof. There was also a talk at one stage of bringing out a castle lager flavour. Anyway, let's quickly look at our I Love Western Province Club Rugby campaign, brought to you by Vodacom. Elsie's River are on 2,442 points. Whistling Wheels are on 1,531. Retreat 1,517. Union Mill on 1,317. Lunga on 716. Congratulations, Elsie, still in first place. Looking good with that 2,442 points. Don't give up now. Keep up the hard work. It's not far away from the 4,000 point mark. There's a real battle on our hands for second place. 3 clubs challenging for that position. Whistling Wheels is up in the mix there with Retreat and Union Mill. Which of these clubs will be the next team to join Elsie's on 2,000 points and qualify for those 25 amazing rain jackets? Let's look at the top 6 now, or at least the next 6 to 10. Violets on 540, Scottsdene on 492, Rocklands on 461, Northerns on 252, Silurians on 220. Congratulations to Violets. You have become the 6th club to reach the 500 point mark and qualify for that first reward. Scottsdene and Rocklands are so close to that first reward. Come guys, get those pictures submitted and get your club to that 500 point target. To view all the club standings, visit www.ilovewpclubrugby.co.za and start supporting your club. Alright, so we really want to push that. Club Pride is the first team or second team able to play in a new set of rugby jerseys. Mr. H, very important for the players. I mean, a new set of rugby jerseys, what does that do for the motivation of a club?
No, that's a lot, you know. You're so glad when you see new equipment come, because at club level, it's not often that you see new equipment. Yeah. So it's great for them that they can. Yeah.
We've got 3-4 weeks left now.
Yeah. 3 weeks.
So there's still a couple of weeks that the clubs can take advantage to push for points and get in the mix there?
Yes. Well, you know, it's quick. Time is running out now. There's only 3 weeks left.
Yeah. But it's easy to get it. I mean, you just get a couple of register for a couple of M-Pesas, put out a couple of tweets. Do you tweet, Bond?
No.
You don't tweet? Your son tweets though.
I whistle.
Anyway, folks, that's your I Love Western Province Club Rugby campaign, brought to you by Vodacom. Well, folks, let's take a quick look at the fixtures now. In Super League A, it's Tygerberg take on UCT. Belhara up against SK Walmers. In Super League B, it's Goodwood and NNK. Peniel Villages take on Primrose. Collegians and Hands and Arts, Belleville and Helderberg. In Premier League A, we see Hamlets take on Paarl. Kraaifontein take on UWC. St. George's and Scottsdene, Young People's and Elsie's. Rangers and Lunga. While in Premier League B, it's Stelkar and Laguna, Franschhoek and Van der Stel, Milnerton, Macassar, Silvertree, Strand United, Eersterivier take on Silurians. In Division 1, Busy Bees, Manenberg Rangers, Northerns take on Silverleaf, and Wraithby Universe take on Rocklands in Division 1. Mr. H, I think the pick of the week there, Division 1, has to be Northerns and Silverleaf?
That's right.
There you have it, folks. That's where we're going to this weekend. We want to see you and the fans. And at Northerns, you have absolutely no excuse because everybody is living so close to each other. Jerome Silverleaf and Northerns, they're right on the doorstep of each other.
Yeah, neighbours. So that's going to be a big derby this weekend.
Well, if I look at the log points there, Northerns is on 48 points. Silverleaf's on 44. The team that's above them is Strand on 51. Yes, Strand has got a game in hand on. They've played 15. Northerns and Silverleaf have both played 16 games. And those teams, especially those teams so close together, this should be one of the derby matches of the season.
No, that will be, unless Houtsheimer come in the last second and drop again.
Well, they will only know that after the game. But yes, that was the last time, of course, we caught Northerns on when they played against MIT Rangers they played against Hamadias. Hamadias at Vygerkraal put off that drop goal from like 80 meters or something ridiculous. So there we go, folks. Join us this weekend at Avonwood Northerns. We've been meaning to go out there for quite a while now, and finally we're going out to Northerns. Northerns, Silverleaf, that's our pick of the week. Make sure you're there, right? Send us your Facebook messages, www.facebook.com/ Cape Rugby TV, we want to know from you, who do you think is going to win that match? Is it Silverleaf or will it be Northerns? Let's take a look now at the rest of the fixtures. In Division 2, it's Watsonia and Blue Jets, All Saint and Atlantis. Blue Stars take on Violets, Temperance take on Carlamore. Division 3 is Caledonian Roses, Masipumulele, Young Brothers take on Perseverance. Crudiesville Retreat, Strand Pioneers, Peninsula, Young Ideas, Whistling Wheels, Dalton Kailicha, Titans and Cities, Richmond Rangers and Imikawi in Division 4. In the Parallel region, it's Parallel United and Violets, Allendale, Riverstone. Young Gardens take on Paarl Rangers, Lower Paarl take on Vineyards, Young Standards are up against Albions, and Vindal United take on Simondium. Right, folks, it is of course now time for us to take a look at the competition from Leisure Hotels. Mr. H.
There's two other fixtures. Friday, the Dizer team is playing their final of the sub-union tournament that rained out in Durban at Forest Street at 18:30 against Boland. And the women...
That's in Wellington.
Paul.
Yeah,
and
Forest
the women
Street.
is playing at Milnerton at 14:45, semi-final against Free State.
Okay, so we've got two big fixtures there.
Yeah.
These are teams that need support in the Western Province space.
Yes, especially Friday night, the Dizers.
Yeah.
Boland is our traditional enemies.
You got Philip Hopley playing in the Dizers from your side?
No.
Not?
No. He was in the amateur squad.
Amateur squad, sorry, yeah.
So yeah, we're going there to Forest Street.
Forest Street, yeah.
And I hope that everybody will turn up on Friday.
And then the women's team is playing on?
Yeah, they're playing at Milnerton on Saturday.
On Milnerton on Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay. And they're playing against?
Free State.
Free State. Province up against Free State at Milnerton on Saturday. All right. There you see it on your screen right now, folks. These are your provincial games coming up over the weekend. Make sure you get out there and support them. Right, folks, time now for us to take a look at one of our sponsors, Leisure Hotels, who's been so kind as to support the Cape Rugby TV show. If you want to win for yourself a night's accommodation, bed and breakfast at one of the most amazing accommodation facilities in Cape Town, all you need to do now is SMS the word leisure to 33280. All right, Leisure Hotels, courtesy of the Leisure, or at least this prize, courtesy of the Leisure Hotel Group, 33280. Last week's winner, Marius Meyer. Congratulations, Marius. You win for yourself a night's accommodation, bed and breakfast at the Strand Towers. Now, it is time for us to take a look at our Super Brew predictions. The Super Brew predictions is what everybody's been getting in the mix. I think that group now, the Cape Rugby pool, is over 1,000 members. There's been some interesting changes. Let's take a look at the ranking changes. Captain Smith climbs up 939 points. Kwai, I can't say that word on TV, climbs 675 points. Busy, 505, climbs 658 points. Willem Boats, Jean-Pierre, Zipmeister, Didi Wittenblow and Soti all climb more than 500 points. Unchanged is Dani, Raga, Greg, Connie and Reiser. And the biggest losers, Tabi, Mike B, Sean Bumu, Stefan, Bert, Di Mahmat, Vern. There's another word I can't say here. Michael, the rugby guru, and the Blowball all lose big time. Top players this weekend was Dani, Philip, Bully, the Dominator, Mojojo, Beza, Jubilius, Grootskoot, the Novice, and Horny Smurf. I suppose I could throw that one in there. Those are your top 10 in the Super Brew predictions. Having a lot of fun they are. Let's take a quick look then at the Currie Cup fixtures over the weekend. It's Crickwas who take on the Bulls at Kimberley. Cheetahs take on the Lions in Bloemfontein. The Sharks take on Western Province in Durban. Let's get our Super Brew predictions from the panel. Bonty, if you'd like to throw in a number there. Crickwas up against the Bulls.
Well, Griquas in Kimberley, very tough, always tough, but I think the Bulls are going to be coming out fighting. They're bottom of the log, fighting for survival.
Yeah.
But it's going to be Griquas by 3 points.
Griquas by 3. Jerome?
Griquas by 7.
Griquas 3.
I'm going to probably burn my fingers again like I did over the weekend, and I'm going to go... The Bulls have got to get it right some other stage. Nobody can, stick their finger in a plug constantly and shock them. They put the finger in the plug again and shock themselves again and go, oh, it shocked me. And put it, that's the definition of insanity. Bulls' style of rugby, Heineke Meyer is slowly learning it the hard way. It has to come right at some stage, so I will go with the Bulls against Griquas. And I'll say Bulls by 7. I know last week I said Bulls by 20. And Morgan Newman will absolutely love that. Mr. 8, Cheetahs and Lions.
Lions by 6.
Jerome.
Lions by 9.
Bonty.
Well, Lions on the roll. Lions by 7.
Lions by 7. I've got to go with the Cheetahs by 12. I'm going to go Cheetahs by 12. They're home. How can they not be getting it right? Sharks and Province, Bonti.
Sure, tough one. Have to back Province, but it's going to be tough in Durban. Province by 7.
Jerome?
Province by 8.
Province by 8.
Province 6.
Province by 6. And Mr. H, considering that you have got such a great rugby brain, and we can clearly follow your leadership as you have led us in the wars of club rugby. I think I will copy you, and I'll go Province by 6. You did say Province by 6.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure so I put it in the right way around. Right, folks, and of course, Northerns up against Silverleaf this weekend. That is where we're going to be. Make sure that you get out there and join us. And let's see if the food at, in actual fact, when we were at Langa, the guy said they're going to make a kreef braai for us. I don't know what they say, soon as no klaar, so maybe a prawn braai or something. I'm not wild about seafood, but I can't wait to see what they come up with.
Lillian can make a soup.
Soup?
She runs a soup kitchen there.
Yes, I like that.
So she can make soup.
En Lillian het ook regte skape wat daar loop.
Okay, ek eet net vleis. Ek eet nie vis nie, mense.
So skaapkopsop.
Skaapkopsop. Bonti, best of luck for you guys over the weekend.
Thank you very much. 2 games to go. Season's finished. We have to win both games by bonus, but we'll see what happens.
Jerome?
Ja, Bonti, good luck met jou span.
We've never had mistakes. We've never had it like this. We've got 2 mortal enemies on the panel. I've got to think the 3 more.
No, we must get them back here.
We could have just left the 2 of them alone.
Back next week because we will get the results now.
It's at Belwel.
Let me tell you something. You've got a couple of groot vleisvreters wat deurkom na julle kant toe, né?
Ons maak die hekke toe.
Jy sê die hekke moet toe maak want daai ek weet nie, daar's
Helderberg met die eie skape bring.
Hulle draai die skaap sommer so toe, né? Die Helderberg ouens. There we go, folks. Bonds, thanks for joining us. It's been a real pleasure as always. Jerome, thank you.
Thanks, JP.
Mr. H, we'll see you again next week, same time, same place.
As always.
As always. There you go, folks. Have a great club rugby weekend. Make sure you stay, probably cooler this time as opposed to warm out there because it looks like the sun is back and we can play running rugby again in the sunshine. Thank heavens for that. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Bye-bye.